How do you feel? You live literally next door to the crime scene now. How have you felt since yesterday?
Honestly, my vehicle was boggled, and we brought police people around. So I know there are CID people who have been hovering around this area. Madam, who spoke to you, had her car broken into another time. So we sort of have told the police people we want a neighborhood community around this growing area. So we are fine. Since police, we see them moving around, we seems to be a little bit at ease now.
Did you see him with other people, or was he always alone?
That's why I said he's always alone. I mean, that's what I know about him. He's always alone, holding religious books. So I took him for a pastor. I took him for a pastor. Hardly would you also. It's just when the area is quiet, because here is an area where people who are working stay. So in the mornings and afternoons, you find here to be very quiet, and it's around that time you see him. But I also suspect that he wouldn't do any bad thing around this area. Normally, I think that what he would do is to bring people from outside and not within the same community. That's what I suspect of him.
Well, I'm sure the investigation will reveal a lot more. Now, a lot was made in the media about the fact that the suspect was a foreigner. And there was some, in other parts of Takrady, there were some reactions to foreigners following the identification of this individual, Samuel Wills, as a suspect. In this community, are there many foreigners, and how have you and your neighbors been interacting with foreigners since this story became a national one?
I would say that, you know, because it's a growing area, everybody has its place ward. But except where we are doing some communal things that we all come together. But it's like we are beginning to know ourselves now. When I see somebody who lives in an area, with me, for instance, I'm a little bit inquisitive. I want to know who he is. So sometimes I follow. I've been given the name an assemblyman because I always know that for something. So I think that now we are beginning to know ourselves. I think that would augur well. When you see any stranger, I see anybody around my area, I would want to know who the person is. So sometimes I go to, what do you want? Who are you after? And that sort of thing. So we are becoming a little bit security alert or something.
Thank you for that. What's your name again?
I'm David Akwete.
Mr. David Akwete, the unofficial assemblyman of this area, where where Samuel Udotek Wills lived for quite a while. Can you recall how long he was a tenant at this property?
For me, I've been here for the past 3 years. I think I've seen, when I saw him, it was around a year and a half ago.
Okay. Yeah. Well, tenant for at least a year and a half.